origins of life in the universe. First stages in human evolution. First simple technologies that started making our life easier. Welcome to Lydian World. We are glad to introduce our multi-ecosystem. Here, the rewards are generated thanks to the fees applied to each service or product behind an income resource such as staking pools, credit card swipe commissions, mining fields, assisted trading, non-fungible tokens marketplace, interactive airdrops, mainnet masternodes, trivia games, etc. Available on platforms and devices. More than 3 million users expected by the end of 2022 could reach a milestone of $5 billion in total resources. Lydian World, the place where you can explore, earn, and have fun.
We're in Dubai right now. Something small, but some big money. Check it out as you can see. I have to display it to the world because they pay. You pay and we play. Check it out. In total, we have 10 cullinan trucks, but we're promoting, I think 4. We're showing out a little bit. Something small, but the pay is big. Everything I do is big. Actually, this is where I'm standing. The tallest building in the world, but I'm gonna say the biggest building in the world. We're doing small things for a big price. Check it out. Check it out, check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, check it out, check it out. And yes, I'm going to push this company on you. They pay. And when they pay, I play. Money made, you know the rest.
All right, greetings everyone. How's everyone doing on this beautiful, Tuesday morning? All right, it's your brother Fard Mac, the Supreme Mac, CEO and founder of Fard Money Network and New Millennium Bankers, and we got a powerful stream for you this morning. I have 2 special guests that are part of our network that really is leading the charge of our New Millennium Bankers brand, Brother Jihad and Kadar Muhammad, but we're going to bring them on in a minute as we go and take a look at the crypto market and what is going on in the market today. All right, and we're going to talk about centralized banking, decentralized banking, which is part 2 to a stream that I did last week, and we want to keep the momentum going, and we want to keep the education going. So I brought in 2 younger brothers that'll help explain this more in depth to speak more to the younger generation about the massive opportunity that cryptocurrency provides for us. all right, and that the blockchain provides for us, and how we're moving more into partnerships and ownership over the blockchain. So we want to be in control of our money. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to get deep down into the central bank. We're going to get deep down into decentralized banking. All right. And then we're going to go and take a look at the best opportunity out here right now in the crypto space, right, which is in Gold Standard Bank. All right. So Bitcoin. Bitcoin is down to $19,768.64. It is down the last hour 0.50%. Last 24 hours is down almost 3%. And the last 7 days is up almost 2%. Ethereum. Ethereum is down to $1,066.41. It's down 0.50% last hour. It's down 6% last 24 hours. And it's down nearly 3% the last 7 days. But now let's talk about the G99 and let's compare the G99 with them. So the G99 is down last hour nearly 3%. Last 24 hours is down 4.30%. Last 7 days is down 4.18% and trading at 0.004. That's less than a penny, less than a half a penny that the G999 is trading for. Don't worry though, that coin has utility, but these are utility coins, so they do go up and down due to the demand of these coins. However, the G999 is sitting at a price where anybody can come in and get a significant amount of these coins, and they could really set themselves up for major growth. Because if the coin is that low, for you to 10x your money, the coin only got to get to 10 cents. Now we're talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin has a high of nearly 70,000. Ethereum has a high of nearly 5,000. So don't let the G999 do something like that. Then we're gonna really go crazy. But we got utility, so we call this. So let's get into it. All right. So let me bring on our guest for this morning. Let's bring on Brother Jihad and his brother Kadar Muhammad. And we want to introduce them to our world, and we want to talk about us getting an understanding about this crypto space. So let me introduce them, okay? Brother Jihad, y'all can introduce yourself. Brother Kadar, y'all go ahead, brother.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, my name is Jihad, and I'm a part of New Millennium Bankers on the executive team. And we pretty much deal with decentralized banking. And today we're just going to be going over what's been going on like globally, because there's been a lot going on in terms of the traditional finance world, and a lot of people are seeing just how powerful decentralized banking is in contrast to what they're used to. So that's what we're going to be going over today.
Yes, sir. My name is Brother Kadar Muhammad. I'm also on the executive team for New Millennium Bankers. I have my own networking team, and I work mainly in cryptocurrency and decentralized assets.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So thank y'all, man. And these are for everybody that's listening. These are two young brothers. Now they are brothers, blood brothers, and now one of them are over 25. Now one of them is 25, right? So they are in their early 20s, and we want to know why. Starting with you, Jihad, since you the youngest, why did you pick crypto, and did you pick network marketing as something that you want to do as a profession for long term? Like what caused that? Because we don't see a lot of young people in network marketing, and they don't take crypto as serious as it should be. They just want to get in, sell NFTs, sell crypto, make money like that. But why have you taken it as a business and for you to build something long term with? What's the reason behind that?
Okay, so for really, it's two main reasons. When I first was introduced to just cryptocurrency and network marketing, um, I seen one, the ability to control how much you're able to earn, because you don't see that any other place besides network. Well, besides having a business. So I already knew that I had like a business idea that I wanted to run with. I just like the majority of people out there, but this was probably the most cost efficient because the cost to run a network marketing business is significantly lower than the majority of businesses that you see that you'll find out there. So that's one of the reasons. And then two, when I started learning about just blockchain technology and like the ownership that it gives you over your own funds, I just I don't see how you couldn't really run with that. So those were the main two reasons why that I decided that I wanted to do this business.
And too, what about you, brother Kadar? Like the same question, like why did you pick this? Because like I said, those are great answers that we can get into what Brother Jahad said because we have to understand what worked for our parents might don't work for us. What worked for their parents, it definitely what worked for our grandparents definitely ain't gonna work for us. So we can't
Right.
be looking to go to school, get a degree, come out and get a good job. Well, the jobs are gone. You know, I know multiple people in my family that have graduated with a degree and they have a job that's not in the field where they got that degree on. That's just a fact. So kind of going to college, if you ain't coming out to do something for yourself and do your own thing with that degree, you wasting your time. But go ahead, brother Kadar. Same questions for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You brought some good points up, actually. And one of the things that I saw when I was presented with GS Partners really was the system behind it. Because you don't see, because when I was looking into cryptocurrency, I seen that they had like all different type of ones, but you didn't see one that provided like something all behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at what GS Partners got now. They got like their own telecom app or communications app. And now you see a lot of people, they're complaining a lot about censorship or they're getting their accounts hacked and stuff like that. But you can't get that when you got your social media on the blockchain, or at least your email on the blockchain. But yeah, for me, it was basically just seeing like all the pros that's pretty much outweighed any con that they might have had.
Oh, praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. So, and two, I want y'all to talk on too because y'all are some of the strongest um, people, especially on our team. But y'all are some of the strongest young people out here that y'all post on social media. Y'all make a lot of posts about the decentralized banking and about what's going on in the world. And a lot, family, for those that don't know, a lot of the information that I get, articles that we do, it come from these two right here. All right. And we make articles and we make streams about them. And we also have team holders, but we talk about a lot of this stuff. You know, they are the ones who brought to our team um, a Jewish rabbi a few years ago. I think it was what, about 2007. Highly ranked in Jewish rabbi out of New York City, and he was talking about he was being interviewed, and he was just answering these questions about everything dealing with that's going on in the world, and he was answering them unconsciously, like he don't care about you knowing they power and all of that. But these two brothers here, they are at the forefront and on front line when it comes to this financial warfare that we got going on with the Zionist Jewish community, with the Federal Reserve, with the central bank. So talk about like how what moved y'all in that direction, though? Like why y'all, because you know, brother Jahad, your name mean war. You know what I'm saying? War Armageddon, right? So we know that, right? But what is it with y'all, and how can we get more, especially of our young people, to see the need to be decentralized banking?
Yes, sir. Well, okay. Well, I was gonna say that. growing up in the Nation of Islam and under the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as taught by the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, really, when you're taught the truth and you pretty much seen the light of what the world actually is, because a lot of young people they're taught that everything is kind of all right and the status quo is okay, but more and more people are starting to see, and then when that things aren't okay, and then when you got the teachings, things are just out there in the open, and you're seeing it wrong. So me, I'm thinking like, dang, well, what can we do to combat this? You know what I'm saying? So when we see um, network marketing and then cryptocurrency, these are two tools that actually can be used to combat this wicked system. And so that's really what got me into it, because we're taught in the nation about the fall of the dollar, but we don't want to just sit there and just learn about it and not do something about it. When you know something, you're responsible for what you do with it.
Right. And just because I mean, I can say pretty much the same thing that he said, but I do want to add one thing too, is that what made me gravitate towards this is that I hated really being vulnerable, or really just waiting for something to happen. And that's one of the things that I like most about not just blockchain technology, but network marketing as a whole, because you're only responsible for what you do. You don't have to be responsible. You don't have to wait on other people to get certain things done. Like if I wanted to move crypto from one person to another, I could just do that like at any time. I wouldn't have to go through any central authorities, and that's one of the benefits of having ownership over your assets. And on top of that, it being borderless and transparent. I mean, the blockchain is the future. That's what we always say. Blockchain is the future.
And another reason why we choose network marketing and cryptocurrency because we want to be rich. I mean, ain't a whole lot to that, right? So
Definitely,
we
yes, sir.
are in a warfare, and our number one opposition is in control of the currency or whatever. It would make sense for us to want to accumulate a lot of wealth and a lot of money as well, because you need money to fight any type of war. But we don't want to scare the viewers with war talk, all right? Because we know that will make them get out, right? But we just want to move this on further, because when we look at the blockchain, when we look at crypto, when we look at what's going on, we look at the banks failing. All right. We look at like they did to Peter Schiff, and Brother Jihad is the one that let me know about Peter Schiff. He's an economist in America, but he went to Puerto Rico and built the bank down there. I don't know why he did that, because Puerto Rico is United States territory, so the federal government stretches over there. So but they shut his bank down for whatever reason, probably because he's a strong advocate against the Federal Reserve. He's been a strong advocate teaching what the scam of the Federal Reserve and all of that. So if he would have did it, when I seen the article, I was like, man, what if he would have put the bank on the blockchain? If he'd have had his people with it, but he's kind of opposed to the blockchain. You know what I'm saying? But the blockchain, if he would have put his bank on the blockchain and his customers or his clients had their assets on the blockchain, they would never been able to freeze it like that. All right.
Yes, sir.
So that's just something that, talk about just how the power of the blockchain gives us access to our money. Like, how does that work?
Yes, sir. Well, for one thing, every blockchain has something called an explorer or a scan. And so with all and what that means basically is that you can look at every transaction as it's happening. and and for example, like with the banks, you're not able to see everything that's happened with your funds and what the banks are actually doing with it. But with the blockchain, you're able to actually see what's being done, and not only can you see what's being done, but everyone can actually see it. It's on an equal level playing field. So it's verifiable. you have control and ownership over it, and it can actually be verified, and it's not controlled by any central authority on top of that. So it's not like you trust in somebody to hold it. No, this is actually a whole network of computers that's actually maintaining this system, and they're picked at random. So it's not just one person that has control of the whole entire network. No, it's strategically placed all around. It's strategically placed globally. So it's not one person that owns it. It's really the community that holds it. And so that's what's keeping the decentralization, or really just the authenticity of every transaction. And that's how we can verify like how everything is kept.
Hey, and y'all are y'all are owners of our hotel in Dubai, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Could that have been possible with us being in America, never going to Dubai, and invest in a luxury hotel and get square inches of it and get paid every 2 months, high percentage, over 10% we getting paid every 2 months? Could that have even been possible without the blockchain?
Oh no, sir.
But never.
Not to my knowledge.
Wow.
It's not something that this system would have really supported at all if it wasn't for the blockchain.
Absolutely. I mean, even if someone wanted to, it wouldn't have been possible because you would have had to go through the banks. And that's one of the major things about having blockchain technology. It's permissionless. You don't need anyone to tell you whether you can or can't do something. And then on top of that, and this goes into why blockchain is the future, because it has something called smart contracts that can be built on the blockchain. So these things can be, they can go through whether the person is there or not. So whether Mr. Joseph Height is present or not present, the transactions, we would still be getting paid from every single transaction of the hotel.
All right. Now let's before we get into the Federal Reserve, because we finna go there. Let us real quick. How do y'all view? Because like I said, y'all come out of the younger generation. Y'all are in y'all early 20s, and we know a lot of our young generation, they love games. You know, they love Xbox, PlayStation, that type of stuff, fantasy football, fantasy basketball, all that type of stuff like that. That really don't pay the players or whatever. But the blockchain has produced something now called metaverse. And these are blockchain gaming platforms. And we have one as well called Lydian World. Now, talk to us and explain to us the significance and how y'all see Lydian World, not now, but how you see it within the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Well, I can say for one thing, it's definitely going to be exciting for those that take advantage of it now, because I mean, you already see how, I mean, we just getting started, and like what we have already on the metaverse. Like if you can put a whole banking system on the metaverse, and you can put real estate on in the metaverse, then it's just no telling what else can be done. I mean, if you can well, I'll just say this. Oh yeah, you got the screen right there. So the way this is all set up, for every transaction that goes through, we get paid from the fees of the whole system. Like this wouldn't even be possible without the blockchain technology. But a lot of people don't know anything about this, and so that's why it's just important that that you at least educate yourself about what's going on in this blockchain space, because there's a lot of money to be made inside this space. I mean, let's just take one of these income resources, because each one of these that you see here, where it says staking pool, all of that, those are all one source of income. So I'm just going to take one of them. The GS Lifestyle card, that's one of our crypto MasterCards. Every time someone swipes it, this is brilliantly set up too. every time someone swipes their debit card, I'm getting paid just for having a position inside Lydian World. That's just one source of income. That's the same way the banks are getting paid, but blockchain gives us the ability to become the bank. And I know there's a lot of people talking about being the bank. Well, this is being the bank at the highest form, because I'm actually getting paid like the banks are getting paid from the movement of currency. So, I mean, that's just the present. And now going into the future, I mean, everything that you see out here in the traditional finance world, and really not just the finance world, but just that you see in the traditional world of technology, I mean, I can see all of that being placed inside inside the metaverse, really, for the most part. And you see it with all, if you've been looking, I mean, you can see it with all the video games. They kind of been moving towards it. Like I seen GameStop, I think they coming out with their own NFTs. And then you see Walmart, I mean, coming out, I think, with what? They putting their store on the metaverse or something like that. So, I mean,
they already got Foot Locker. Some Foot Lockers already got metaverse where people can work from home inside the metaverse and actually get paid a paycheck inside. I've seen this in Foot Locker.
Oh, wow. So just imagine if every time somebody bought something from Walmart or from Foot Locker, you were getting paid from that. That's what Lydian World is offering. I don't know what all those other metaverses offering, but that's what we offering.
Yes, sir. I can see that, honestly, because I mean, if you look at like with video games, right? I mean, if you think back just 10 years ago and look at it now, video games are bigger than ever, honestly, because now you got people, millions of people on YouTube, right, playing video games for money. So why wouldn't you? The next step is so obvious. It's obvious that it's going to be on the blockchain, because you see millions of people already using that to make money. So why wouldn't they move on to the blockchain? It just sounds like it's going to make a lot of sense, and it's a good business deal at all.
And two, family, for those that don't know, Lydian World pays us from the fees of this virtual game. Like, so with all the fees that, like Jahad was talking about, the card swipes and all of that, every income resource is really like a fee-based income. Like the stuff that goes on inside of Lydian World, wherever you got the citizenships at, and which are NFTs, you get paid from the fees of the GDP. It's kind of like, imagine if America, imagine if I'm in Florida. So imagine if Florida GDP, everything that Florida, they gross domestic product, that they paid me a percentage of everything that the Florida government is bringing in. If they paid this to all the citizens in Florida. All right, just imagine that. If the Florida GDP was $500 billion, you know what I'm saying? A 500 billion, right? And they paid all the citizens a portion of that daily. Just imagine that type of income. That's what Lydian World is. And like they said, it is absolutely brilliant what Mr. Hype and what Mr. Alexander Coaching though has put together when it comes to finance. All right, so we're gonna move this along because we are approaching about 15 minutes. So we want to move this right along and let's get right into let's talk about the central banks, because when we talk about the central bank, you can't talk about the central bank without talking about the Federal Reserve. So we're gonna go straight here, and we got here on the Federal Reserve homepage. And if you want to know more about central banks, you want to learn more about how this system here has control over everything we do when it comes to money, except crypto, and except you having some physical gold. Now, the only difference with physical gold compared to crypto, if we was to do a comparison, because they don't line up as the same thing, okay? You can't compare currency to money. Okay, gold is money, cryptocurrency is currency. The difference is, if I had a lot of gold I am protected in a crash, but I will only be protected in a crash or a crisis, a financial economic crisis, or collapse of a fiat currency in my area, wherever I can go, wherever I can physically go. Outside of that, I'm restricted. And this is one of the things we want to help break down because as technology moves us, advance us further down, then we need to understand the digital era. And we need to understand the power of having money digital, right? That's the dynamics, and that's what separates the two. So if I had $1 million worth of gold, physical gold, I am limited to where I gotta go. I gotta have guards on it. I gotta watch it. It's just a whole lot of other protection and security that would have to go on that. And I couldn't move it and just travel all over the world like I ain't like it's just like hey, you just got gold, ain't nobody. No, you gotta go through customs. You got the FBI, the CIA, the local authorities, the county authorities. All these people here will confiscate your stuff. You feel what I'm saying? But with crypto, it's borderless. We don't have to worry about that. I can get on a plane right now, go to Dubai, go to Africa, go to China, and I can be a crypto billionaire and nobody knows it. That's
Yes,
the
sir.
beauty of it. And I don't have to worry about anybody confiscating it because they don't have my code. And I can literally memorize my codes. Literally, I can memorize my code. I don't have to have them on paper. I don't have to put them on a safe. I can memorize. So how could you get it out of here if it's in here? Crypto is powerful on a whole nother level. But
Yes,
let's
sir.
get into this central bank. All right. Now, this central bank here was set up in 1913, and it was set up on an island right off the coast of Georgia called Jekyll's Island. And the whole idea of this central bank, which is against the Constitution because the founding fathers of America didn't want America to have a central bank. All right. Now, that was set up to take over the control of the American currency, which at that time was backed by gold in 1913. So when they set it up, they took another 20 years to remove the dollar away from gold, 1933. And they seemed like they always was able to find a president to do they bidding, right? They like it always, because they got Woodrow Wilson to sign the Federal Reserve Law and Act, who was a Democrat, by the way, for you Democrat lovers, all right? Then, and 20 years later, they got Franklin Roosevelt to make citizenship ownership of gold, coinage gold and bullion gold illegal. So they took the dollar, so they started moving all the gold into their wallets, into their pockets then, right? And
Yes,
then
sir.
38 years later, Richard Nixon finalized the deal and he completely abolished the dollar with any convertibility to gold. So since 1971, August the 15th, the American economy has been on a floating fake type of illusion because it ain't bagged by nothing, but we needed to buy stuff. But the stuff that we buying is probably worth more than the dollars that we give for it. But they have set up 12 Federal Reserve banks in 12 cities. So I want y'all to go into like how knowing this knowledge here, how does that affect you, you know, because it's like us being in the Matrix. And I happened to watch the first Matrix the other night, me and my wife. And the way we were seeing stuff and what they was doing, we was like, wow, it just, the more you know, the more conscious you get when you look at stuff like the Matrix, you be like, wow, people are really in the Matrix. And you got some of us that's like Morpheus and like Neo and like Trinity that know the Matrix and trying to grab people out of it, but for whatever reason, they won't listen. So talk about this because, and the reason I want y'all to talk about it because y'all are in a city that are in a state that has a Federal Reserve Bank. One of the main Federal Reserve banks is in New York, right? New York City. So talk about that because that Fed controls a lot of stuff. Because when that war, when they pulled out of Afghanistan and then they went in there and they seized the Afghanistan assets and took over their central bank in Afghanistan, it was the New York Fed that got the asset, got all their gold and stuff about it. So talk about that because y'all in New York.
Yes, sir. Like you was talking about, would these banks restrict you and almost treat you like a dang prisoner, honestly, because you're stuck pretty much almost, how would I say, I guess restricted on what you can do, and you can obviously tell whose assets they truly are or who money it truly is. So it's them that's controlling it, and then they control what you can do with it. So you wouldn't be able to run a system like this with using dollars or even using their banks. You would have to be your own bank on the blockchain.
Right. And the sad thing about it is this is what most people are spending their time working a job for. While what these rich bankers are doing is they taking your money and they investing it into assets. And then on top of that, they have the nerve to scare you out of trying to acquire crypto. I mean, a lot of these people that's talking down on crypto, they actually are investing in it themselves, but they're not going to recommend you to do that because they taking your money and using it to act. They're using your money to invest in it, and that's really the game. How the game is going. They talk down on you investing into assets. They really telling you that you should save your money or save your dollars, your hard-earned dollar, and tell you what not to invest. Well, not really tell you what not to invest in, but more so influence you and try to make it seem as though cryptocurrency is something that it's not. It's the same thing that they do with things like precious metals. I mean, you see how these stores are set up, and they're like, "We'll buy your gold from you," because they know what real money is.
Just for something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense because you got these paper dollars that aren't backed by anything, and then they're printing them out in abundance, but it's not in demand.
Right. Yep. And as long as they keep printing the money, the value of it goes down, and that's called inflation.
And then go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say you're seeing more and more now, more countries dumping the dollar now because they're starting to see it for what it is. And actually, it's interesting because we've seen in Sri Lanka, in Canada, all of the things that's going on and the problems that are happening with fiat currency.
Actually, and I just learned about this morning because I seen this article. It's actually not just those two countries this is going on. There's actually 7 different countries where, and I'm gonna send this article to you, Brother Supreme, where people are actually protesting against the central banks. And in China, it actually turns out that $6 billion people are protesting because $6 billion actually went missing and from the banks. And now people are protesting because they're trying to withdraw their money, but they really can't do anything about it. So they unable to withdraw their funds from the bank. And the 7 different countries that are all protesting is Sri Lanka, like Brother Kanar mentioned, Albania, Argentina, Panama, Kenya, Ghana, and China. And in the article, it talked about, will this soon be hitting America?
And it's funny because there's a lot going on. But what do you think is going to happen when that hits America?
Well, for the most part, we know what's going to happen because if you look at the circumstances, like what caused this to happen? What caused this event to happen? I mean, people were trying to withdraw their funds, and the banks didn't have them, right?
Exactly, and people don't play about that money.
Well,
Now
the
that
same
happened.
thing.
That happened in Ukraine too. When Russia invaded Ukraine, they went to their banks, and a lot of people couldn't get their money out of their banks too. So that happened
Right,
over there too.
right. So those same conditions exist here in America. So I mean, it's only really a matter of time before this does happen in America, and that's why we're telling people to move to some sort of asset because I mean, when you better, I mean, I would say try to use as much as you can while the dollar still even has purchasing power right now. Because I mean, right now you can get Bitcoin. I mean, we're lucky to see cryptocurrency in a downwards market, or really just all assets in general, because that means you can buy more with the useless dollars that you have. Because pretty soon you won't even be able to do that.
Mm, mm, mm. And they set this up, and they set up the central. They set up the 12 reserve banks to. They let them operate more decentralized, where they not really over under anybody except the board of the Federal Reserve. All of this is in here. Like everybody, if you in here, you can go to the Federal Reserve website, go to their board of governors, and read everything about it, learn about it, because you are literally caught up in a web. You're caught up in a system. You're caught up in a matrix, and you really don't know the dynamics of it. We are just problem solvers, so we look for solutions. So we have found a system outside of this, and we found network outside of this because this is what needs to be, because this is the greatest scam to ever be perpetrated against the citizens, not just of America, but just of the world, period. It has never been a scam like this. All right. And they make everybody think that other things are a scam when they don't have control of it. And this central bank, it has so much power, so much control over the currency, the dollar, and other fiat currencies as well, that it's probably amazing why this information is out and everybody just ain't shut down. And it be a run on the bank. Because, see, if it's a run on the banks, then the people will see real soon, dang, I thought I had $10,000 in the bank. I thought I had $100,000 in the bank. No, if your money is in a central bank, that money is really not there. It is really not there. And it's an illusion. They already loaned that out to create more money. And now the central banks don't need any money on reserve to do fractional lending. They passed that bill in 2020 to so-called fight COVID. So they don't need nothing. They don't need nothing on reserve to give you a loan. You just
Yes,
need to
sir.
walk in there and ask for it. Wow. That's deep. All right. So let's move. So that's the central bank. So let's go a little and let's just, as we come to a conclusion, I want y'all to talk about these metaverse certificates that we have and the significance of the average person. Hey, I just got paid. Hey, the average person, you know, being able to get these type of returns. Look at this certificate here. This certificate here is 120% APY, annual percentage yearly, for 18 months. This one here is 107.50. Wow. Over 2 years. For 2 years. Then this one here. Talk about the significance of these percentages where you can do meta mining and meta brokerage in the metaverse in the interest that is on it. Talk about that if
Yes,
y'all
sir.
can.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, this is really like being your own bank if you want to talk about it. Because now you're getting paid interest on your money just for holding it on our blockchain. I think to me that's powerful because it's not like we're what you getting what 1% if that in the traditional bank, right? But this you getting paid like you said 120%, and then it's consistently paying you on your money every what that one like let's look at
That's every
okay, I see a
45
couple of them, they
days,
pay them
that
every
person.
45 days, right? And then we got some of our higher ones that are paying you twice a month. So You get interest on your money. So you're being your own bank, and everything you're doing is controlled by you. It's not controlled by the bank. You don't got to go through other people. You can control how much wealth you want to get through these certificates.
Right. And this is definitely important because this is exactly what the banks are doing. I mean, so basically when you're doing this, you're basically just doing everything that the banks are doing, but you just reaping all the benefits from it. I mean, and then on top of that, if this wasn't enough, we're having a promotion that's going till July the 15th that you're going to get matched dollar for dollar everything that you put in the certificate. So say I was to get a Jupiter certificate right here. You see where it says the max load is 200,000, right? Well, for me loading it, if I were to fully load it, I would really have 400,000 working for me. And that would all be that doesn't count the interest. So that I'm going to get paid off of 400,000 when I really just only put in 200,000 worth of crypto into it. And then actually there is one more thing I wanted to talk about too, because there's really two aspects to it. There's a mining side, and then there's a trading side. And so the mining side is you're getting paid in assets. So if the coin goes up in value, what you're getting paid in goes up in value. And then there's always more because you're getting paid, but then you also got to think about this, because remember, we said this in the beginning. We get paid from the fees of the ecosystem, right? So there's people all over taking advantage, all over globally, taking advantage of these certificates. And so anytime that they get paid, I mean, every time they acquire some of these certificates and start filling them, guess what? You're going to start getting paid because 20% goes to the citizens, and then 75% goes to the holder of the certificate. So for me paying myself first, like the millionaires I always say, pay yourself first. For me doing that is not just benefiting me, but it's also benefiting the community as well.
That's right. That's some supreme group economics right there. And and they are so unique because of everything that they do, because they work like a CD that the banks have, certificate of deposit. You get it and you put the money in it and they give you interest on your principal. So this is what this is, but it has two dynamics to it, but they are also cost efficient, all the way down to $49, going all the way up to 100,000. So it's something for everybody. Load is 500. So a person can load every time you get $500, you can be loaded into a Meta broker's account. $49, put $500 in the broker's account, $500 in the mining, and you could just be putting that money to work for you and get paid over here in this ecosystem like that. And like he said, this promotion is coming to an end, and these certificates are coming to an end July the 1st. We're going to have another wave of certificates, but the percentages, they will not be this lucrative. They will not be this high. All right. So I want to thank y'all for coming to our crypto mornings, and we want to give y'all the floor with some closing words as we get ready to close this stream out.
Yes, sir. Well, always a pleasure to share this amazing platform, and really just to be a part of just a whole new, I guess, wave, or just a way of looking at finance. Like, I'm just so grateful to be here and to be so early as well inside something that the world is moving towards. So blockchain is the future, and that is it for me. I'm signing off.
Yes, sir. I mean, like I said, he couldn't have said it any better. We're blessed to be a part of seeing something new come up and being a part of it at the ground level, because it's not too many people. Most people, and especially Black people, are usually late or not even getting told about a lot of these business opportunities. But we're lucky enough to see it, recognize it for what it is, and being able to take advantage of it. So it really just shows that education and knowledge is light, honestly. But that's all from me, and I'm signing off as well. Thank you, sir. I appreciate
Thank you. No problem, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. It was an honor and a pleasure, and we definitely will have y'all back once again. So be on the lookout for that.
Yes,
so
sir.
we're going to be bringing y'all more to the light because y'all have a wealth of this knowledge, and y'all represent the future of where we are going in America and beyond because y'all age and how y'all are connected in that, and y'all are actively involved in this space. So we not, it's a whole different element. I can go and get anybody to talk, but now it's really in it with a network. Can't really plug people in. So we have a network. We have a system that we can just plug people in and they can get it and go based on what they want to do, based on their standard, their goals, their ambition, So I just wanted to say big shout out to y'all, man. Man, I love y'all dearly, y'all family. We just appreciate y'all so much. These are also the ones that created our logo for New Millennium Bankers. They lead our Twitter account, New Millennium Bankers. So, man, we appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are definitely valuable assets to the team and about everything that we do. So, with that being said, family, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Forward Money Network. Follow us on Instagram, Forward Money Network, New Millennium Bankers, Twitter, Facebook, Forward Money Network. My personal pages are Forward MacD, Instagram and on Facebook and on LinkedIn. And if you want to get down with us, because we on a major run, we going after 10,000 cryptocurrency millionaires. This is our goal. This is Project Exodus 10,000, and Crypto Mornings is a part of that. Because the reason why we haven't got to 10,000 yet is because we need more people to be educated on what we about and what we have. More people need to want to be rich. More people need to want to be decentralized. So we got to do more education, and that's why we do Crypto Mornings every morning, 7 days a week, non-stop, because this information has to get out. We have to get educated, and us being the educators have to take the time and sacrifice to do the education. So get with the person that shared this stream with you, or you can text 10K to 833-549-2079, and you can register and participate in Project Exodus 10,000 and become a gold standard bank member. See y'all on the next stream.
Volatility in the crypto market is massive right now. This rise and fall of the market is almost impossible to predict. However, it also brings with it massive potential. Right now, everyone has the opportunity to start making money. Even small funds today could create new millionaires of tomorrow. GSPartners.global presents you with a unique product, NFT certificates, which give you access into the metaverse. These meta certificates are the key to a virtual world where you are able to gain, win, and earn. Go back 10, 20, 30 years ago, when Amazon started onboarding multiple partners and suppliers, all participating and offering their products in this new technology called the internet. In this new market of the technology age, now we have the next evolution of the internet era, a new market with a new technology called blockchain. Welcome to the metaverse markets of NFTs, technology partners, celebrities, all coming together in one new world, Lydian World. You'll meet many tech partners, developers, influencers. Technology partners include BD Swiss, a decade old, top-tier European financial brokerage. Celebrities and sports champions include Floyd Mayweather, Roberto Carlos, and many more. Build meta cities, sell NFTs, play games, earn through meta broker, meta mining, and tap into all the income resources of the Lydian World. Get your Metaverse Certificate NFT today and start to earn from our multiple opportunities right now. The evolution is a Lydian World. The evolution is now.